morning children. This is first 10th class biological science class. In your previous classes we have an idea about what is biology, and mostly the biology deals with the living things. But here in the 10th class we will discuss about the basic life processes which occur in the all the living organisms. Basing on these life process only, we can say this is living thing and this is a non-living thing. And already you have an idea about the living things, non-living things, the differences, everything you have an idea in your previous classes. But here we will in detail, we will discuss each and every life process which takes place especially in human beings. So entire your 10th class biology syllabus is based on the life processes which occur in the human beings. So let us see what are the basic life process which takes place in the human beings. Already we know the first basic requirement of any organism is food. That means we will discuss with the first life process, the food preparation process, which is nothing but the preparation of food, which is what we call it as a photosynthesis. And second life process, when we eat the food, it is only basically for producing energy. So how the food will produce energy when we consume the food, and the process is called the digestion process. And whenever there is a process, digestion process takes place, the food will be converted into energy. And how this energy is produced in the body from the food, the process is called respiration. And after that, when the food is prepared, energy is produced in the body. It should not be accumulated in one place. It should be distributed to all parts of the body. That is done by a system that is called our transportation. And after transportation, what will happen? Whenever there is a process takes place, the waste materials are produced, which should be eliminated or removed from the body, and we call that process as excretion. Apart from these life process, there is when all these functions takes place in the body, there must be a control and coordination in the body. Unless and otherwise there is a control and coordination, these functions will not take place properly, and we call that life process as control and coordination. And finally we have, apart from these life process, what we have discussed, that is photosynthesis, digestion, respiration, transportation, excretion, control and coordination. If these life process will not take place in the human body, the body cannot survive, the organism cannot survive. But there is a life process which only helpful in the continuity of the organisms in the next generation. That process is called reproduction. These are the basic life processes what we are going to learn in this 10th class biological science. So I think you have understood what are the basic life process takes place inside the body of organisms. When all these things happening in the body, then only we can say that these are living things. If any one of this is not happening, we can say those things are non-living things. So I think it's very clear what are living things and what are the basic life processes takes place inside the body of the organisms, especially in human beings. Why I am stressing the word human beings? Why? Because your entire 10th class syllabus is based on the what are the different life processes takes place inside the body of the organisms. Because because you have a curiosity how the digestion takes place inside the body of organisms, how the things are transported. All these things we will discuss in detail one by one when we start the first basic thing, that is the requirement of the food, the preparation of the food, that is photosynthesis. So I think up to this you are very clear about this life process. So let us see in detail the one by one process, and first we will see the food preparing system, that is photosynthesis. Why? Because as I have told you that food is the basic requirement. Without food no organism can survive. So let us start that subtopic, the food preparing system, that is photosynthesis. Before going to the in detail the process of photosynthesis, there is another term related to the food, what we call it as a nutrition. Then what is the word nutrition means? Generally we used to take food, we have our breakfast, we have our lunch, we have our dinner. These are the three basic times when we used to consume the food. In between these lunch, dinner and the breakfast, we used to consume so many things. But basically, we used to take the food three times in our daily life. That is, one is breakfast in the morning, second one is lunch in the afternoon, and third one is dinner in the night. When we take, particularly we are discussing about the two, one is the lunch and the dinner. So when we take our lunch, all of you know, we used to take curd, rice, then dals, then vegetables, then sometimes fruits, and water. These are the things we used to consume in our food. So we used to eat rice, dals, vegetables in the form of curries, then milk, curd, oils. These are the basic things what we used to eat during our lunch and each of these food materials, they contain some chemicals, and we call those chemicals as nutrients. That means nutrition means intaking of all the nutrients to our body. So let us write the definition of nutrients. Nutrients are nothing but the chemical substances, the chemicals which are required for our body, very important for our body to produce to get energy, next growth, bodybuilding, and resistance towards diseases. For all these things only we used to consume the food, for to get energy, for growth of the body as we are growing high, for the bodybuilding, muscle development, and the resistance towards the diseases. That means to develop our immune system. So these chemicals are called nutrients, and we will divide our food into the different components. So which food contains what is the component present in particular food. So let us discuss the different types of nutrients. First one is carbohydrates. Second one is fats. Third one is proteins. Next, vitamins, or you can pronounce as a vitamins also. And fifth one is minerals. These are the nutrients required for our body. Carbohydrates, in the body. What does the carbohydrate it will do? It will produce energy for the body. Let us see the functions of each of the nutrients in our body. First nutrient is carbohydrates, which these carbohydrates, they give energy to our body. That means when we consume, when we eat carbohydrates in our food, they will produce energy. Second one is proteins. Proteins are helpful for growth of the body. When you are very small, you are not of this much of height and the weight. Slowly you are growing. That growth is only because of the proteins in the body. Growth. Then bodybuilding. You know, have you seen the bodybuilders? They have a good muscle development. So that is only because of the consuming of the proteins, more proteins in the body. And proteins are also required for the repair of the tissues. Whenever there is a repair in the body, there is a damage inside the body for cells and the tissue, proteins are helpful for the repair of the body. So proteins are required for growth, bodybuilding and repair of cells and tissues. Third one is fats. Fats are also energy giving food. They also give energy to our body. But when we compare the energy produced by the carbohydrates and the fats, more energy is produced from the fats than the carbohydrates. Now, next discuss what about the vitamins and minerals. These are required for the develop the immune system, what we call as a resistance of the body, development of our immune system. That means they will protect our body. They will not allow the body to the diseases to enter into the body. Those are persons who are taking more vitamins and minerals in their diet. They are more healthy and they are not frequently attacked by the diseases. So these are the basic important nutrients present required for our body, and intaking of all the nutrients, supplying of all the nutrients to the body is called nutrition. So nutrition definition is intaking of nutrients. So till now we have discussed about the different life processes. In that one, first we have started with the food and what are the different types of food we consume, and what are the chemicals, what are the nutrients present in those food, and what are the different nutrients required for the body, and what is the function of each nutrient in the body, that we have discussed till now. I think up to this it is clear for you. Now let us discuss what are these nutrients, which food item contains carbohydrates, which food item contains proteins, which food item contains fats, and which food contains vitamins and the minerals. So you have to know what type of food, which food you have to take. If you want to supply carbohydrates to your body, then what type of food you have to take. If you want to supply minerals to your body, then what type of food we have to take, that we will discuss now in this topic. I think it's clear up to what is nutrition. Intaking of all the nutrients. Intaking of all the nutrients means intaking of carbohydrates, intaking of proteins, intaking of fats, intaking of vitamins and the minerals is called the nutrition. And let us see which food contains the carbohydrates, which food contains proteins, which food contains fats, and which food contains vitamins and the minerals. So, sources. Carbohydrates are present in Basically it is present in the rice and the wheat. Next is proteins. Proteins are present in milk, pulses, all dals, they contain proteins. Then it is fish, eggs, meat. All these food items contain proteins. That means when we are consuming these food items, our body is getting the proteins. Then when it comes to the fats, it is basically present in the milk, oils, butter, ghee. All this they contains the fats. And finally, vitamins and minerals. They are present in fruits and vegetables. That's why we are advised to eat more fruits and vegetables. Why? Because they are supplying body. Fruits and vegetables, they are providing vitamins and minerals to our body. So these are the sources of the different nutrients which are required for our body. When all these nutrients are present in our diet, then we call it as a balanced diet. If any one of the nutrient is missing in your diet, for example, today dinner I have not taken the fruits and the vegetables, I have not taken the curry. That means in my diet, minerals and vitamins are not present. So it's not a balanced diet. If today I have not taken the proteins, that means pulses or something else. So our body is missing the proteins. So intaking of all these nutrients is called the nutrition. Diet is different from the nutrition. Diet may contain all the nutrients, may not contain all the nutrients. For example, today's curry I don't like it, so I will not take it. So in that one, minerals and vegetables, minerals and vitamins are not present in our diet. So always for a healthy body, for the healthy functioning of all the systems in the body, we need to take a balanced diet. Why? Because it contains all the nutrients required for the body in what is the quantity required for our body. Not in the very high quantity and not in the very less quantity. How much of nutrients are required for our body, when we are providing that amount of nutrients to our body like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and the minerals, then we call it as a balanced diet. If we are not giving all the nutrients to our body, then it is called, there is a special word for when body is not provided with all the nutrients, we call it as a malnutrition. So there are two terms regarding the nutrition. There are two terms. One is balanced diet and another one is malnutrition. There are two terms when we use generally. Balanced diet, that means it contains all the nutrient in the required amount. Another one is malnutrition, that means any one of the nutrition. Basically proteins and the carbohydrates and fats, when they are not present in our diet, we call it as a malnutrition. So here we have discussed till now what is nutrition, what are the nutrients, what are the different functions of each nutrients in our body, and what are the sources in which food item. Daily we are consuming so many different types of food items. Which food item contains what type of nutrients? And if all the nutrients are providing to the body, what we call that one? We call it as a balanced diet or nutrition. If any one of the nutrients we are not providing to the body, then it is called the malnutrition. Malnutrition, its symptoms, diseases, we will discuss in detail in the next topic. So first we have discussed regarding the food. Is it clear up to what is food? What are the different chemicals present in the food? What we call them? And what are the sources and what are the functions? These are the subtopics we have discussed till now. Now, most important, our topic, 10th class topic is different types of nutrition. Nutrition means nothing, it directly indicates food. So, nutrition is of two types. How we are getting the food? Generally we know that we are getting the food from the plants, because animals. So the basic requirement, we cannot survive only eating with eggs. We cannot survive only eating with the meat. We cannot survive only eating with the chicken or something else. Basically, we require rice and the beets and what we are getting from the plants. So that means we means including human beings. We are also belongs to the category of animals. Don't think animals in the sense other than human beings. We are also animals. So we are depending on the plants we are getting the plants food from the plant. That means the plants, they can prepare their own food material. Plants are not depending on the animals. Have you ever seen a plant eating an animal? No. A plant can prepare its own food material. So basing on the preparation of the food, the nutrition is of two types. One is autotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition. These are the two types of nutritions. Auto, the word itself indicates not depending on the others. Automatically, auto means automatically, not depending, not without the help of anything, they can prepare their own food material. So autotrophic nutrition means the autotrophic where the plants can prepare their own food material. So plants can prepare own food material. Own food. They are called, that type of nutrition is called autotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition means depending on the plants, depending on others, depending on plants for food are called, that is called heterotrophic nutrition. So nutrition means intaking of all the nutrition is nothing but food, directly related to the food, and it is of two types, autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition means where the plants, they can prepare their own food material. They are not depending on the others. That's why the plants are also known as autotrophs, especially green plants. They are called autotrophs. Heterotrophic nutrition means where the nutrition is not directly from themselves. They are depending on the others for their food material. They are called, that type of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. So in the first we will discuss the autotrophic nutrition, what we call that process, how the food is prepared in the plant. So how many types of nutrition? There are two types of nutrition, autotrophic nutrition and the heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition means they can prepare their own food material, they are not depending on the others. Heterotrophic nutrition means they are depending on the plants for their food material. Example for the autotrophs is green plants, and example for the heterotrophic nutrition is all animals including human beings. Now in detail we will discuss about the autotrophic nutrition. So first we will discuss about the the name of your 10th class first lesson is the nutrition, the food supplying system. Here we got the name of the lesson. Nutrition, the food supplying system. That means how the plants can prepare their own food material. That we are going to discuss. First one is autotrophic nutrition. So as the definition I said, they can prepare their own food material. How? Whenever there is a process, we need a place where it should be done. We need some substances. We need some requirements. And what are the end products? And what we call the name of the process. This we are going to discuss under the topic autotrophic nutrition. So first we will see what we call that process, how when the plants will prepare their own food material, That means first we will discuss what is the name of the process. What we call, there is a name of that process. Second one is what are the things requirements? What are the things required for the process? For example, in your house also, when your mother wants to cook the food, she needs some place. That place, and she needs some requirements, some things, some ingredients she needs to prepare that particular dish. Here also we need, and there is a name should be given to that process. Here also, what are the requirements for the preparing of the food material, and what is the place where entire process takes place, and what are the finally end products. What is the dish prepared by your mother? That what we call it as a end products. You can compare the entire process with how your mother is preparing food for you. You can compare the steps with this process. First we call is the name of the process. Second one is requirement of the what are the requirements. Third is where it will happen and what are the end process. And this we are going to discuss one by one. First we call it as a name of the process. The name of the process is photosynthesis. I think you have heard this word in your lower classes also, and you know the definition also. Once again recall it. Photo means light. Here the photo means sunlight, not the tube light or any another light. You can say, if I say simply light, you can ask, ma'am, will it take place in presence of a tube light or some other lights? No. Photo in the sense it is nothing but sunlight. And synthesis means preparation, production. That means in presence of sunlight only this process will take place. That's why it is called photosynthesis. Especially why it is called photosynthesis, the entire process takes place only in presence of sunlight. That's why the name is given as photosynthesis. So we know what we call that process. Second thing is what are the requirements? What are the things required for this process? There are 4 things are requirements. They are called raw materials. Another word we can use requirements, raw materials. First one is carbon dioxide, CO2. Second one is water. Third one is, as I told you, the entire process takes place in presence of sunlight. And the last requirement is chlorophyll. These are the 4 basic requirements for photosynthesis. Next one is, what is the third thing I have written? Where it will happen? There is in the plants. I told you that the entire process takes place in the plants. And you know which part this entire process only takes place in the leaf. You can ask a question. Why, ma'am, only leaf? Why the roots? Why the stem? Why the flowers? Why the fruits? Why they are not suitable for this process? Why? Because when you see there is a requirement called chlorophyll. This you have studied in your 9th class when you have studied what is chlorophyll. It's a green colored pigment. You know that leaves are green in color. It is a green color pigment. This green color pigment is only present in the leaf. You have a doubt in your mind, madam, tender stems are also green in color. But stem is not a suitable place. Chlorophyll is not present. Most of the chlorophyll is present in the leaf. That's why leaf is the place. Leaf is the kitchen of the plant. Whereas your mother will cook the food for biryani for you in the kitchen only, not in the bedroom, not in the hall or somewhere else. So kitchen is the perfect place. Like that in the plants, leaf is the place where entire process will take place. And you know that this preparation of the food material is not a 1-day process or a 2 days process, a 3 days process. It is a continuous process. And food is prepared in a bulk amount. In a large amount the food is prepared. When anything is prepared in the large quantity, we call that place is called factory. about the structure of the leaf, you will understand why the leaf is called food factory, why other plants of the parts of the plants are not called the food factory. And finally, what is prepared? The starch is. This is about the name of the process, requirements of the process, place where it will happen, what are the end products. From here, you can write the definition. From basing all these things, what I have written on the board, you can define photosynthesis. So let us write the definition for photosynthesis. We will write the definition for photosynthesis and equation for photosynthesis. So let us start. Photosynthesis. Whenever there is a process, it is a chemical process. Photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction. It is a chemical reaction which takes place in between carbon dioxide and water. So photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction in which who will prepare the food material? Green plants can prepare the food material. How they will prepare the food material? By using carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll and in presence of sunlight. As the name indicates, it is a photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is a what type of reaction? It is a chemical reaction. Who and what is prepared? Who will do this chemical reaction? Green plants. What is prepared? Food is prepared. That is starch is prepared. What are the by using what? Carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll and in presence of sunlight. That is the definition for photosynthesis. So let us write the definition for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction. Why we are stressing the word photochemical? Because it happens in presence of sunlight. Photochemical reaction in which what will happen? In which green plants. Who will prepare the food material? Green plants. Prepare food. If I write simply food, I will say the other things. Food in the form of carbohydrates. By using what? We know the requirements. By using CO2, water, chlorophyll and in presence of what? In presence of sunlight. This is the definition for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction. Why we are stressing the word photochemical means this chemical reaction only takes place in presence of sunlight, in which the green plants, who will prepare the food material? Green plants. They will prepare the food in the form of carbohydrates. By using what are the raw materials? Carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll and in presence of sunlight. This is the definition for photosynthesis. Now, whenever there is a chemical reaction, in chemistry you can see, whenever there is a chemical reaction, we have to express in the form of equation, because chemistry deals with equation only, without equations. In the biology, sometimes you will may across with chemistry also. So, whenever there is a chemical reaction, we have to write in the form of equation. That equation for photosynthesis was first given by a scientist C.B. Van Til. It is the proposed final. It's a proposed equation for photosynthesis. Given by C.B. Van Al. Very important question. He is a scientist who has given the proposed equation for photosynthesis. Let us write the proposed equation. CO2 plus H2O gives rise to, on the arrow you have to write sunlight and chlorophyll, because that means carbon dioxide and water, they will react in presence of sunlight, in presence of sunlight and the chlorophyll. This carbon dioxide and water, they will react with each other. That's why it is called a chemical reaction. And finally, this is the proposed equation. This is not the balanced equation, the final equation for the photosynthesis. So it is the proposed equation given by the C.B. Van Al. Afterwards, the final equation is also given, which is the balanced equation. That means how many molecules of carbon dioxide react with how many molecules of water and how many molecules of starch is prepared by the